Hello and welcome back to Bunnex Investment Group. In this video, I'm going to teach you a simple trading strategy, basically one of your go-to strategies that you can't find a setup for that particular day. It's called the Asian Session Flip Zone. Basically, you want to see the high and low of the Asian session, and after that, you need to see the market actually piercing out of either one of those. Then you are going to be trading in the US session is what I'm going to show you. Right, so the first thing that you are going to require is this particular indicator, or basically this particular template. You can get it for free. Just say hi on Telegram so that I can provide you. I've also uploaded it in my free Telegram channel. I'll leave the link in the description box below. Alright, so basically what we want to see is the Asian session. So in this particular instance, we can see there are blue boxes, red boxes, and then there are clear boxes between the blue and the red boxes. This clear zone is actually marking the London session, and this blue box is marking the Asian session, and then these red boxes are actually marking the US session. So basically we want to make entries in the US session and not the London session. We are going to be using the blue boxes, which are the Asian session, and then the red boxes, which are the US session. So how are we going to trade? Here are the steps for you to make an entry so that you can actually make money out of it. Right, so basically what we want to do first is to basically find the peak formations of the market. By peak formation, we are basically saying the zones where the market is actually making some reversals. So this is the H4 time frame, and on the H4 time frame, this is how it looks. I've actually zoomed in so that we can see how it looks, how the structure looks. So we have 1, we have 2, and we have 3 at a possible reversal point of the H4 time frame. So in this particular case, we can safely see that this is a peak formation high, and this is a peak formation high, and this is also a peak formation high due to the structures. So this is level 1, level 2, and level 3. So what we want to see is basically the peak formation so that we have what we call the bias. You can use other methods of peak formation location that I've actually shared on this particular channel, whereby you'll be using the Traders Dynamic Index to find the H4 shark fins, and then from those H4 shark fins you actually start to get the market bias. So after that, the next thing is now to go, or we'll actually start from this point, is now to go on the M15 time frame so that we can get the setups. So the first thing, as I've said, is to always start with marking the peak formation highs and then the peak formation lows. As you can see, this is a line which we actually said we are going to start our analysis from. So basically what we want to see is Asian session being presented like in this particular way. We can see this is the high, the median, and then this is the low of the Asian session. Since we have seen the peak formation high, which I've said you can also determine using the Traders Dynamic Index, like what I've illustrated in one of the videos on this channel, you can actually know the bias. So the bias is downwards, is what we have seen. After that, the next thing is now to see the market. Of course, it appears to the upside, but what we want to have is a downward bias. So in this particular case, we actually saw them piercing to the downside or on the lower band of the Asian session. And then what they did was they came back to this low of the Asian session right in the US session, and the market continued its downward move. So the setup will actually require you to see a break of either the high or low depending on the bias of the market, and then retest of that high or low in the US session for a possible continuation of the London session trend. So here we were going to make an entry through the US session like that. Then moving forward, we can see that the market actually went to the downside, but it's unfortunate the setup was not presented in the US session. We've said we want setups that are going to be presented in the US session and in line with the market bias. So in this particular case, we can see that there was this Asian session, market pierced outside the US session, the Asian session. It pierced outside like that, and then in the US session, we came back to the low, which is this particular point. Of course, the market actually consolidated for some time, but later to give us what we were expecting. On this day as well, we can see that the Asian session was presented, breaking the low in the London session, and then coming back to the flip zone in the US session like this, and then the market continued with its trend. This particular case, it's unfortunate this setup occurred before the US session. So it's basically going to be trading strategy that you can go to when you do not have entries, probably for such a long period of time. You can actually trade these flip zones of the Asian session low or Asian session high, basically like that. On that note, we've come to the end of our today's video. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and check out my free Telegram channel. I'll leave the link in the description box below.